Alright, what is up everyone? I want to welcome you back to another episode here of Bass and Furious TV. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys who checked out my last two videos. You guys are awesome. Like I mentioned in the last video, I wanted to start getting out some more regular content. So I had a ton of videos saved in the vault. I will get those out, but I also felt like let's make some new ones as well to kind of address some current situations. So in particular, today's video, we want to talk about the changes in the leagues when it comes to their stance on how they're going to utilize everyone's favorite piece of technology, forward-facing sonar. Everyone wants, that's what seems to be one of the, and has been consistently for like the last 2 years, one of the hottest topics in fishing. So I just kind of wanted to jump in here with my 2 cents. I will be honest with you, kind of like some of the debate candidates that we've seen go here recently. You know, I've kind of flip-flopped some of my opinions on how I feel about certain technology, and to a certain extent, just because you kind of see it in a different perspective, and one day you see a different perspective a different day. And my decisions personally about how I feel about a piece of fishing technology I wouldn't compare it to some of the other things that's going on in the world. That's not really like America's top concern is what I think about forward-facing sonar. So I've kind of had some time to kind of think about and you know, where I think I fit in to all of this. So kind of want to touch on it from a couple different standpoints. One is a co-angler, then one is a boater, and one is just an influencer and a content creator out here in the world, just trying to make some funny, interesting content for people to enjoy. So kind of to start with it as a co-angler, I will 100% say that prior to it being a dominant piece of technology used by like even your average Joe who's got a John boat has it now, prior to that, I did do, in my personal opinion, I did better in tournaments prior to that being the main deciding factor on whether or not people are going to do good in tournament or not. I did do better. Like 2020, 2021, 2022, I had better tournament results, better overall finishes. I mean, I still struggled like most people do. But forward-facing sonar, like in a lot of those tournaments I had, forward-facing sonar never played a role in any of my finishes whatsoever. The one I won, never looked at forward-facing sonar at all. The Potomac, when I got a top 5, never looked at forward-facing sonar at all. Potomac with a 3rd place or super tournament, never looked at forward-facing sonar at all. It never even came to play. In the Potomac, we were fishing grass flats. No sonar was used. Matter of fact, you better cut your electronics off in the grass because you don't want that pinging in 2 feet of water. So it never played a role. That's where we were at. Bass and your boy cashing checks just like that. On the Kerr, never used forward-facing sonar, not one bit. Never even looked at it. I don't know what the boater had on his thing, but we never ever used that at all. I'm pretty sure he had a Ultrex, and he had some nice graphs, but never ever forward-facing sonar came into play. We were basically shallow in the bushes, going timber laid at. We were just in the woods, going nuts. That's it, just catching fish, having a good time. That's it. Take that away. Take me down to Lake Norman. Take me down to Lake Murray. Take me down to Kerr Lake now. Take me to the Potomac now. Sometimes it's a different world. I will say it's a different world. It doesn't really affect me until we get to the regionals or until we get later season if we have Kerr or Smith Mountain Lake. But Smith Mountain Lake, we go there and it's when we go there, it's a bid fishing tournament. 9 out of 10 times it's a bid fishing tournament. So that you're just looking for fish up on bids, big fish. And as a co-angler in those tournaments, I always struggle. I just always struggle because I'm not aggressive. I'm not hey, you mind if I get a cast at that bass right there? I'm not that guy. If I see it, I get a cast at it, I get a cast at it. If I see a big 4-pounder going down the bank and a boater doesn't see it, oh, you best believe I'm going after it. I've done that plenty of times, and that's usually what works out good for me if they don't see it on the bank. If they see it, I never, ever try to go after that fish. I think I gave one boater 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes to try to catch one bass, and I sat there. I basically cast my drop shot out in the middle of the pond and I didn't even want to do anything on this side where he was at. I let him do his thing. I cast out in the middle. I got a bite out here, to be honest with you, but I don't know what it was. Probably could have been a chain pickerel, could have been, who knows, because I was out in the middle of nowhere. So for me, I will say that Going to the deeper, clearer lakes, it has played a role in whether or not I can be successful, because the boater sees everything when they scan around. They see what's on my side. They see what's on the front. They see what's on the left or the right. They don't make a cast. Clearly, it was nothing on the screen for them to look at the good. I'm having to now hope and wish. Now, my hope and wish has paid off. It paid off on Norman. My boater scanned around. He was chasing singles. I cast out in the middle of nowhere with a topwater. Apparently, I called up a bass. Bow, got one coming. So I end up getting one. Like, who knows? Random luck, happenstance. The Lord blessed me out of the sky that day, or from underneath the ground. Like, who knows how that fish actually got to my bait? But I just randomly cast out my spook over the top of nothing. I didn't even see any activity on the surface. I literally was just wasting time while he was out there fishing. I got tired of chasing whatever. You know, it is what it is. He was a very nice guy. I had a great time. I've never been with a scoper who's just been scoping and just been rude. You're not going to do, you know, I'm doing this, you falling in line. I've never been with that guy. The boaters, even if they are scoping, even if I'm not happy because I don't feel like I'm getting a chance, even though I'm dragging a shaky head behind the boat, almost long lining at this point, I still hop it every once in a while. I still make sure I maintain contact with my bait, but I'm just literally dragging something on the bottom, hoping and wishing. Even if that's how I feel, I've never had it be in an instance where, you know, I feel like I've been, you know, just, you're not going to get any fish today type. I've never had that environment. So as a co-angler, I can't say I'm for or against it. I just can go by results and factual data, and I had better success before it was a dominant player in every person's boat. Now, you very rarely get in a boat these days where somebody who doesn't have forward facing sonar. Before that, I had a couple of chances. I picked my spots. I do the same thing now, just sometimes. I've also, even though that's been the dominant player in fishing tournaments here as of lately, I've also seen some people just absolutely have it and absolutely struggle. So I'm still not convinced that it's 100% the end-all be-all. There's a ton of dudes that got it because it's the cool thing to have, but they have no idea what they're doing with it. No idea what they're doing. They're seeing marks and they're still fishing for catfish. So I can't say that yet, but just kind of where I'm at in my head. I think where it's headed, if someone doesn't slow it down, it's not going to be you're not going to get a lot of people to sign up to go do that. You're especially some of them Dale Hollow, some of them places where you know what the bite is. Those dudes are not signing up anymore. It's a waste of money. You're literally dump trucking your money into a fire to go sit in the back of somebody's boat for them to chase around single fish and you to hope and wish. Nobody wants to do that. That is a waste of your 8 hours. I'd rather take my money. I'd rather save my whole tournament entry fees, take that money, go buy myself a John boat off Craigslist, and then go out and go fishing and have a good time by myself. I'd rather do that. Or save up enough money by doing that for 4 years and then just buy my own boat and live scope and just go. There's no way anybody wants to fish like that for an extended period of time. Doing it one time, twice is... People do it for 2 times and they say, I will never fish a BFL again as a co-angler because I had such a bad time. I haven't said that yet, but at the same time, I'm also dropping out of BFLs as a co-angler. If you guys checked out my last video, I'm done as co-angling in BFLs. And you guys know I've been all in BFLs. I've changed my whole life. I've changed everything around to go BFL. I gotta do Toyotas, gotta do BFLs, gotta do. And this is the one year where I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I put 2 BFLs on my schedule for the whole year, and there have been some where I've done 12 or 13. I put 2, and those are maybes. I picked 2 out of the schedule that I saw, and those are maybes. Those are big question marks beside. So, you want to listen to my actions? Look at my actions. My actions are definitely telling you where I'm at when it comes to as a co-angler. Now, as a boater, a lot of leagues have changed their rules. They've done different things for this, different things for that. Also, before I get into the boater side of it, guys, be sure to check out, it should have popped up on the screen, some of my merch. I got merch for sale on my store. I got a great shirt about spots. I got a great shirt about fish only jerk baits and Senkos and never give up hoodie. I got a bunch of great stuff on the shop that you guys can check out. Also, I'm going to leave a lot of links below to some companies that I started working with as an affiliate. So I have a lot of companies that I work with. Some of them provided me with a discount code to save people who rock with me money. So be sure to look in the bio. Take a look at that. I'm sorry, in the description. Take a look in the description, and you'll see some of the companies. You'll see some of the discount codes where you guys can go in there and save some money on some of this stuff. Some of the stuff you're going to buy anyway. You click on my link, support it, and support me. Help my family, help us out. And you're going to buy this stuff anyway. Save some money and do it with me. So anyways, hopefully you guys check that out. But now to the organizations. 3 different organizations. All of them made 3 different rules. I'm going to keep this very short and sweet. They did what they felt is best for them. Now, I suggest and I encourage each and every one of you to pay attention to what these leagues did. They are drawing their line in the sand, and they are telling you what they're about, who they're about, and how they're going to move forward. They are literally told you. So don't keep it in. People have a hard time updating their resources, guys. You don't update. People are still so bent on the fact that Bass was great, that MLF was great, FLW was great. Like, that people are so bent on their ideas and their thought processes. They're not seeing that a certain company is slapping you upside the head as you're like, they're great, and they literally are knocking you upside the head, and you're like, but I just gotta get to the, if I could just only get to, and that's what they're doing to you. Okay, they're literally they're kicking you upside the head after they slapped you on the ground, and you're literally just like, I just love the company. Like, guys, pay attention to what they're doing. Okay, if you're an angler who liked X, they just took X from you. Move accordingly. Okay, I suggest to you, don't hold it against them. If you love them, still love them. If you hate them, hate them. But also move accordingly. If they took away what you feel like keeps you successful, find another avenue. There's no point in bashing them down, because they already did what they're going to do. If they kept everything that you love, if they took away the things that you thought were problems, and you want to go rock with them, go rock with them now. Again, they drew their line. They're telling you, this is what we're going to do. Okay, this is how we're going to move. And all of them left it open to be like, we're going to analyze these things every year. We're going to check. Pay attention to what's going on. So you have to. Some of these organizations, they've said, look, we want to keep our organization like this. We want to rock like this. Okay? Some of them, they're not slapping you. Some of them are hugging you. Some of them are embracing you. They're saying, hey, look, we understand your pain. We understand what you're going through. Come here with us. We love you. We want to do right by you. You got to understand this. One's doing this to you, and one's extending they're saying, hey, we love to have you. Okay, so you guys got to pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention. People, there's some people out here that they literally they'll bang their head against a brick wall over and over and over and over again, not understanding that, look, I just need to move different. So if you love the elites made some changes, you like the changes the elites made, go all in. Elites is it. Tattoo it on your arm. Like, guys, some of the stuff I'm saying is I make extreme examples. That's what I do. That's just, I need to change my title of my YouTube to makes extreme examples. Tattoo the name of the league on your arm. Get it put it right here on your neck. Okay, put it right underneath your teardrop. Put it right there, okay? And go fishing with that club. Okay? If one made it really weird and you don't understand what it is they did, you might want to understand it. Otherwise, you're going to get accused of cheating, and you're going to get run and dragged down by every angler on YouTube who acts, every angler in the world in the comments. They act like they never did anything wrong in their life. They're going to run you down for the next 8 years. Every post you make, even if it's a post of your kids, they're going to comment that you cheated in a tournament 8 years ago. They'll never let you hear the end of it. So you might want to make sure that you understand the rules of whatever league is confusing you. And also understand what they did. They made a change to make it even, they called it a turbo boost period, right? This is the turbo boost. If you're going to use the technology, catch up real quick. Use the first one you got to strategize. Whatever league you join, you're going to have to strategize. Even if you go back to 5 fish, no graphs, you still got to strategize. Like, so whatever one you decide to rock with, go all in with that. Follow the rules that you can and do what you need to do to be successful, okay? Because like I said, there's people on the internet waiting to run you down and call you a cheater 87 years later because you insert X crime here. Again, bass fishing, they will accuse you of something before you've been proven guilty of something, and they will run you all the way down into the end, into your mama. They'll see your mom in the grocery store and they'll tell her that her son's a cheater. That your boy's a cheater. Like, I don't understand it, but hey, it is what it is. Even in criminal court, you can at least get an attorney. Somebody can represent you and get you off. But in bass fishing, there is no getting off. They're just going to call you a cheater forever. So understand what league you're in, where you need to move. You might need to sit down with a whiteboard or an Excel spreadsheet. Put in the pros and cons of each league. This league, I can do this. This league, I'm going to need to adjust this. This league, I'm going to need to adjust this. And there's also new tournaments people putting up all the time. You might want to check into those. Some of those paydays I've seen on these tournaments are just popping up have better payouts than the big dogs. They have better payouts. So I want to personally say I wish them the best of luck to the NPFL. Having personally worked with Brad and Michelle, who are owners in the NPFL organization, with a company that I was with before, I can 100% without a shadow of a doubt say that they are good people and they want to do right by people. They didn't start that organization to then run everybody down and mess up everything. They started that organization out of a need to have a tournament organization in that space, and they've run it. And they had their early struggles, and now they're doing their thing. Just like anything, any startup business is they all run into problems, guys. They all run into it. They have stayed the course, and now they've catered and set their parameters on what type of league they're going to be. Some people were not happy about that. It is what it is. You can never please anybody. I want to get that out there just bright and clear. In the bass fishing world, you will never appease every bass fishing angler. We cannot even agree on the size of jig to throw. I will catch a fish on a 3/8 ounce jig, and a guy will come right behind me and tell me that I should have thrown a 1/2 ounce. On the water in the same day, I am holding the fish in my hand that I just caught on a 3/8 ounce jig, and he will tell me that I should have thrown a 1/2 ounce. And someone else will pull up and be like, well, I've been catching them on a 1/4 ounce. And someone else will pull up and tell me that I need to throw a shaky head instead. All of us standing there, all four of us could have fish in our hands, and none of us will agree what the right technique is to throw at this particular bait. That is the joy of bass fishing. That's also the pain of bass fishing. We will never agree on anything. So any decision they made, no one's going to always agree on it. You're never ever going to have 100% of the people agree on it, because one, we're human. We're not made to agree for everything that everybody has. That's the reason why Starbucks has so many flavors. People are not going to all agree to all buy pumpkin spice. Somebody's going to want caramel. Okay, that's just what it is. Somebody's going to pull up on caramel. Somebody's going to want pumpkin spice. And somebody's going to want a birthday cake pop. Okay, that's why menus have options. That's why restaurants have options. That's why there's multiple breeds of dogs. Not everybody wants a Pomeranian. Somebody wants a Chihuahua. Okay, you just need to understand that. If 8 people walk into the store, not all 8 of them are going to pick a Pomeranian. 3 of them are going to pick a Pomeranian, 3 of them are going to pick a Chihuahua, and 3 of them are going to complain about how dirty the store is that they walked into. And then 1 is going to turn around and walk out because he made a mistake and thought he was going to Target. Okay, that's just people in general. They're not going to agree. So what I want to say to every organization out there, because I did kind of hint at the changes in each one, I wish them all success. I hope they all made a decision that they felt like was good for them. I hope the anglers show up, or I hope the anglers don't show up and let the organizations know that, hey, we not rocking with what you did. Anglers, you got to figure out a way you want to do it. You can't always complain about this not going your way and then continually show up and pay your money for every tournament and let the organization think that they're doing the right thing, even though you don't agree. Like, at some point, you got to take a stand. I'm not fishing these. I'm not doing this. I'm going to go play golf. Some point, you got to take a stand. If you're not going to, then shut up and fish. Okay, if you're not going to, if you have no gripes and it is what it is, shut up and fish. Okay, that's just what it boils down to. But that is my stance on it. I did from the boater side, I did from the Coangler side, and then just as a general person, I just talked about that just now, just as a person. From the outside world looking in, guys, bass fishing community, bass fishing world, we just look like a mess. We just look like we got 3 professional leagues. We got 3 NBAs. We got an NBA, an NBAA, and NBCA. Like, we just look like a mess from out there. It's just 3 organizations. Everybody's calling themselves a professional. The products for certain companies aren't moving. Some companies are selling them out the wazoo. They can't keep their shelves stocked. If there was a suggestion I have a ton of suggestions on how to make the format more entertaining, ways to present the content. I have a ton of ideas about all that stuff, guys. I'm hoping I've sent my ideas off several times. I'll gladly send it off again. There are ways to improve it. There are ways to get more people excited about it than enough. There are ways to present it to the public to have them want to get involved. There are ways to present the product to the public to have them want to get involved. There's so many ways to actually do that. I know they have teams to do that. If one of them teams want to hit me up and we can talk, I'd love to talk. Any organization out there, I'd love to talk. Bring me on. Bring me on as an analyst. Let me talk about the tournaments. I'm well versed in talking about the tournaments. Let me talk about the ideas. I don't really care which one it is. Bring me in on something. Let me do it. I'm almost at a position now where I can travel. I have had that opportunity kind of sort of presented to me, and I didn't want to do a lot of the traveling. I got small kids I didn't really want to do. They can come with me at this point, or I can figure it out. I'm kind of in a different spot right now. So and yes, you guys, you have not because you ask not. So if you see me asking for something on my YouTube or mentioning something on my YouTube, I'm doing it because this is my platform. This is the way, this is how I can connect with people. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to do the whole people are complaining about it because they just don't know how to use it. You're too old. Bass Fish is not about Game Boys and video game. I'm not getting into all that. All that is that's just rhetoric between different people that feel different ways. And what I learned this the other day, and I'm gonna kind of slow down real quick on this. I learned this the other day, listening to some people talk. You have to understand that a lot of the people that follow bass fishing they also are. It's a type of person that they are. Okay, so you have to understand. There's a person that buys $100,000+ boat.
I need more tape.
To go 80 miles an hour and storm weather advisories means nothing to them. Think about the type of person that is. Then there's a type of person that buys a $600 John boat off Craigslist and only fishes with live minnows and has a 9.9 6 batteries. Well, more like 2 batteries and a 45-pound thrust trolling motor. Okay, those two people both like the same thing. Okay, if does that make sense? There's a guy with a $600 John boat that likes to do the same thing as a guy with a $110,000 Icon, and there's a guy with a $600 Grumman. They both like the same thing, chasing bass. They each get there a different way. So you have an audience of people that may move at a snail pace because they like to just enjoy and cruise. And then you have a different generation of people that just want and got and you need to be doing. And then there's a bunch of us that fall in between.
I need one.
All of us doing the same thing.
No, I need one. No. I need one.
Okay. All of us doing the same thing, the same sport. And you're trying to figure out how to create a product that keeps the Icon, drives a 2025 pickup truck, works, just fishes for a living the whole time, has no girlfriend, has nobody they involved with, family, got money, just encouraging them just to go. And then you got someone else over here who worked 10, 12, 15 hours of overtime just to get an extra 600 to get a John boat, just to get out on the water for 6 hours because they got to get right back to work. They literally taking the boat to work because they still got to clock in because they got bills to pay. That's the dynamic that is bass fishing. You're trying to find a product. You're trying to create something that each one of these people want to watch and want to tune in to enjoy. Not to mention, just on a whole nother level, the sport is aired during the time when most people are actually out doing the sport. Like, if I watch NASCAR on a Saturday morning, typically I'm not racing my NASCAR on Saturday morning. I'm watching actual NASCAR on Saturday morning. Bass fishing tournaments are aired on Saturday morning when most of us are out bass fishing. It's some of it's just
here.
like, you say, okay, I aired on Thursday and Friday. Okay, most of us at work. It's fundamental stuff. That's just, it's the way it's been, and we're just going to keep doing it the way it's been and just hope it keeps on working. So, anyway, to not belabor the point, I'm hoping you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will have more and more videos on this. A couple more. I'm actually probably going to bring the board in to a couple more and probably have some more highlights and some clips and things like that. But I will be getting more and more like this on my channel. Then I am going to be sharing fishing videos right now, especially as we head to the later part of the fishing season and as we head into the winter. But I also will have kayak fishing videos, and I have a ton of those. So I will have those with some fish catches and some tips, tricks, some fun days on the water, some interesting days on things like that. So thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to check out the links in the description, and be sure to like, sub, and share. As always, my Bass and Furious friends, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Catch you on the next one. Peace.